look at those babies. Those are Formula Fords, and we've come to Sears Point Race Course. This is one of the most famous race courses in the world. It's unlike an oval track where they just go around in a circle. It's 2.5 miles long and has sharp curves, hills, and valleys. It's really a great race course. This is also the home of the Skip Barber Racing School, one of the best racing schools in the world. In fact, this is where Tom Cruise trained for his scenes in Days of Thunder. Some of the best race car drivers in the world drive here. Here comes one of them now. Hey, how you doing?
I'm great.
Race car driver Becky. How you doing?
Well, I just finished 3 days of racing school.
Racing school? I don't want to go to school.
Oh,
sure
no.
drive one of these great
You
cars.
have to go to school because there's more to it than just driving the car. I mean, there are at least 10 different flags. I mean, there's the pit flag, the lap flag, a debris flag, a caution flag, a finish
I
flag.
don't care about the flags. The only flag I care about, Becky, is that checkered one I'm going to see when I win that race and cross that finish line.
Is the rev limit. My suggestion.
The Skip Barber School is like any other. There are classes and teachers. Both men and women can attend. Some even go on to become famous race car drivers. But the big difference here is that on the very first day of school, you get to drive the race car. Like any other school, you've got to pay close attention to what the teacher has to say.
Okay, race car driver Becky, remember, these are some of the things you need to know when you're out there driving. First, when you come up towards a corner, make sure that when you start braking the car, that you squeeze on those brakes gently. You don't want to get on the brakes abruptly, smash on the brakes, and lock the tires up. If you get a skid like that, then you're in trouble. Remember, when you're coming through the corner, make sure that you use your eyes and look where you want to go. Same thing is true on the street. You always want to be looking ahead to make sure you're not surprised by things. Coming out of the corner as well, look ahead, see if you can see any other cars you're racing with. You got to start planning those passes, setting up those moves, keep yourself from being surprised. Just like on the street, driving in traffic, you always want to be looking ahead. Then also shifting. When you're shifting the car, either downshifting approaching a corner, shifting up as you come out of a corner, always do that in a straight line. You never want to shift in the middle of a corner. You might lock those rear tires up. You could cause the car to skid. Remember also the flags. You've got to remember flags is the way they communicate with you on a racetrack. You don't want to be surprised by some situation ahead of you. Flags will tell you what's coming up so you know how to deal with it. This first flag is a green flag. It's used to signal the start of the race. You wave it like this, the race is on and you're racing. The next flag, we'll call a caution flag or a yellow flag, signifies that there's been an accident on the track. And there's basically 2 ways to hold this up. One, if you're holding it like this, means that it's a little accident, you might have to slow down a little bit. Or, if you wave it like this, that means there's a big wreck and you need to be ready to slow down a whole lot. Next flag I've got is what we call a debris flag. That's to signal that there might be some oil or car parts on the racetrack. Let the driver know there's something to be aware of and they might have to avoid it. Usually held out like this. This is what we call a passing flag. It's to let a driver of a slower car know there's someone coming up behind him. Held out like this, let that driver know that they need to move over and let the car pass them. This flag is what we call a mechanical black flag or a meatball. Lets the driver of his car know that there's something wrong, something about to break or possibly already broken. Should bring that car into the pit lane so that he can take care of it before he has an accident. Usually held out like this. And then the last flag I've got here is the black and white checkered flag. It means the race is over. When you wave this flag, you're done racing.
Here at the Skip Barber Racing School, the primary car that the drivers are trained in is called a Formula Ford. That's what this is. Now, Formula means simply that they don't have any fenders. The wheels are on the outside and they're not covered up. The cars are really very basic. They're really just kind of a cage that you ride in, as you can see from the steel frame here. Now, if we look close, we'll see they only have 3 pedals, just the clutch pedal, the brake pedal, and the gas pedal. As we move into the cockpit, fancy seat belts to hold you in. There's a small, almost tiny steering wheel, a 4-speed shifter, and not as many dials as you'll find in your car at home. There's a water gauge, a tachometer, so you can tell how fast the engine is going, and a gas gas gauge. As we move back towards the rear, you'll find the engine. It's a small Ford engine, a 4-cylinder, puts out about 110 horsepower. Now, it doesn't have to be very big because the car is so light. This engine can push the car at 140 miles an hour, top speed. As we look towards the rear, you'll find the transmission, and then these cars are equipped with disc brakes. They're kind of unique because instead of the disc being located out by the wheel, they're located here by the transmission. This is the disc, and these are the little units that clamp down on the disc to slow the car down. And that's pretty much what this car is all about. It's a beautiful car, and I'll bet it's a lot of fun to drive. I can hardly wait. And here's what they look like with the fiberglass shells on. Oh, isn't this baby beautiful? It's gorgeous. I guess you kind of say I know just about everything there is to know about that.
You know, race car driver Dave, you may know everything there is to know about cars, but you don't know the first thing about racing.
Racing?
Right.
Hey, you just put the pedal to the metal, right?
The pedal to the... Okay, then how about a little race?
A little race? You're on, race car driver Becky.
To the finish
You better
line.
be ready to eat some dust. Here we go.
I'll teach him how important school is.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sears Point Raceway for what could be the race challenge of the century. Race car driver Becky has challenged race car driver Dave to an all-out no-hold-barred race to the finish. The drivers are in their cars and they look ready to go. The flag will give the thumbs up. And they're off. Race car driver Dave is pulling ahead of the straightaway. No, wait just a minute. It's race car driver Becky in lead now. And they head to that first curve. Dave takes the lead on the inside curve. What a smooth Dave. Race car driver Becky is back in the lead. Dave puts the pedal to the metal. Wait just a minute. Race car driver Dave is passing her again. This time it looks like making business. No, he's pulling ahead. He's way ahead now. And it looks like this race could be in advance. Race car driver Dave is approaching that dangerous hairpin curve. Ladies and gentlemen, he's coming to that corner way too fast. Oh no, he is off the track, ladies and gentlemen. Race car driver Dave is off the track. Uh-oh. I shouldn't have done that.
Hey,
Hey.
look at this! I won! Woo! Yeah!
Hey, how about a ride?
I should have gone to racing school.
Well, we've seen all kinds of race cars.
And if you'd like to learn more about race cars, you can visit your local library.
Now remember, racing is fun, but never ever do it on public streets, and only do it with proper supervision and proper training.
So until next time,
We'll
see you at the races.
races.
Come on, let's race again.
Well, I think maybe I'd better go back to school. Have fun, Becky. Hi,
Hi, this is Ivan Ironman Stewart. I'd like to encourage all you kids to stay in school, get a good education, and enjoy yourself. Always enjoy the races, and especially off-road racing. And remember that we are professionals. We wear safety uniforms, safety belts, fire systems. It's a very safe sport providing you do it right. Remember, we're professionals. Don't try this on your own, and I'll see you at the races.